Alright. Okay, folks, so I actually intended to do a completely different thing today. I was gonna do, ooh, audio on. I was going to do an interview. I'm still editing it though. And so instead, I also got sidetracked on this project. I've been wanting to do Teardown Tuesdays for a long time, and I've done one or two where we took something apart back in the day, including an Amazon Echo, actually. Echo Teardown Tuesday. Here we go. And take this up. But what I want to really do is take apart smaller things and be able to look at them really close up. And I couldn't do that with my current setup. So I bought a cheap USB webcam off of Amazon. Let me go grab it actually. And this thing does magnify stuff really nicely, but it's also incredibly laggy because I got like the cheapest one. And a little bit of lag is not bad, but this is really laggy, like unusably so. And it does have a cool little focus wheel, and it's got a built-in little light ring, and it's got, you know, this little guard on it to help you keep the right focal distance. But it's just really sort of jankily made. It did come with this nice aluminum stand though, which can be sort of raised and lowered by rotating this knurled knob thing. So what I did today was I was at the computer store and I saw that they have a $20 webcam, the Logitech C170, and this is quite cheap. I decided that I would just try and make my own little micro camera. It doesn't have to be a microscope because I'm not doing anything like incredibly tiny. I'm not trying to fix things, but I do want to look at them close up. And just getting that on camera is a little bit tough. So there's this $20 camera, and I was like, why not? It's $20. I'll take it and try to cut it up. I have these macro lenses that I got for my phone camera like a couple of years ago, and I've never used them. Like, I swear, I've used this fisheye one like once at an event, but when it comes to like actual usage, I really don't use them. And despite them being in my camera bag the entire time I go to events and stuff. So I was like, I'll combine these two and make my own version of one and see if it works. You know, worst case scenario, I'm out $20 and it's just the same. So let's take a look at this. So I did grab the camera and I realized that I would need to add my own lighting to it. So what I did first was pull off the front. I unscrewed the two screws holding on the back here, and that was really easy. It just popped right off the front of the camera, and then I took my side cutters to the front plate of the camera, which is like this, and cut that off, as well as a few extra pieces of plastic. The microphone is still in there, but I figure I don't really need it because I'm going to be using a regular microphone anyway that plugs into my computer. So meta. We can get really close in here too. Whoa. Isn't that rad? It's so cool being able to look at stuff close up. I love it. Anyway, so yeah, then I was like, I need some light on this. I've also got laying around this 12 NeoPixel LED ring, and it's already attached to this little controller that I've also had this little assembly sitting around in the office in my desk drawer for like a couple years, maybe. And so it only made sense to combine them. The nice thing about having programmable lighting is that I could easily add a potentiometer or something in order to change the brightness, change the coloring, get the right white balance just by changing the colors on there. And then I realized when I plugged it in that it has this rainbow animation already plugged into it, or programmed onto it, and look, it just looks amazing. It looks so cool. Obviously in video, like, coolness is paramount, right? It's gotta look awesome, and to me, this looks awesome. It's so cyberpunk. Look at it. So this is a little potentiometer that I was gonna try and use for the brightness, but as I figured out, this controller in particular does not have any analog pins as far as I can tell. So, again, it's the CJMCU, this first breakout here. Weirdly though, their link there goes to a set of double-ended alligator clips. But yeah, you can check out this tutorial, which is linked in the description, for how to program this thing if you want to use it for yourself. It's a really cheap board, and then the NeoPixel ring with 12 LEDs is $750. The Logitech C120 is 20 bucks, and you know, I really think this thing was probably like maybe $1, maybe $2. But yeah, and the results, basically what I did is I took this, as I mentioned, the front off of the camera, and then I cut apart the holder for the lens. So this is the half of the lens that it was like a double-sided one that sort of clamped onto my phone, cut that apart with the side cutters, and hot glued half of it with the macro lens onto here, swathed that in hot glue, and then I added the LED ring and slathered that whole mess in hot glue as well. So it's just a huge block of hot glue, but it's going to be pretty stable, I think, and it's holding up well. I added the button so that I can still switch modes if I want to later on. If I want to have like 3 modes I can switch between without reprogramming the whole thing. And yeah, it lights up, it looks gorgeous. I'm going to stick some more things under here just because. Here's another potentiometer. You can get closer. Look how sharp and pretty. I think there are some horizontal line artifacts, but again, I think that's just stylish. Like I'm really into cyberpunk stuff, and so to me this is like super sort of, you know, rainy city neon at night kind of vibe, you know, CRTs with the, it looks really cool. Here is a button that I murdered on the first go round. I did need to rip off those 2 legs, but I didn't mean to rip off the other leg. The legs on these things are really brittle, and so if you bend them more than once, they will totally just pull off. And look how awesome that looks with the lighting. I love it. Ah, I love it. The most boring stuff becomes suddenly awesome. What else should I put under here? I don't know. Here's a piece of plastic. See this one. It's a piece of plastic from the casing of the camera, and it looks awesome because everything looks awesome. It's just like cyberpunk O-Vision. I should make it like just green and pink, or like just blue and purple or something. I love it. I'm gonna see if anyone else has suggestions for what to put under here. Looks sweet, says Carlos. Awesome. I agree. It does look sweet. What else? Here's some little SMD components. Oh, I've lost my little preview. Here we go. Yeah. Can we read them? We can. It says 103. Glorious. These might actually need to be brighter. But this is a test. I only just rigged this up for the first time. Also, this might have to do with it auto-adjusting the brightness. Maybe based on the amount of white in here. Good to know. What else have we got? Here's another one of the lenses. If I put this one on top of the other one, it just sort of undoes the magnification. Here's the screw. Oop. Screw. And I can lower this whole thing to improve the focus. Raise it again. That's getting worse. Closer in. There we go. And then if I use this other lens in there, it does other way. Ooh, that looks pretty cool too, actually. Just put it on there. Anyway, today has been great fun. I do still need to edit that video, but I'm excited to have a new toy to play with, and I think I'm going to move Hackster Cafe, which is our interview series, to Wednesday maybe, so that I can have this sweet alliteration of Teardown Tuesday, because alliteration is the most important thing, right? It's all about style. Some of you don't think alliteration is stylish, but over here, we love it. All right. Thanks for watching. Hello to Colin, who I ran into at the Foundry building during lunch today. Shout out to you. Your e-skateboard looks sweet. Anyway, have a great rest of your Teardown Tuesday, everyone. Take something apart and put it back together again, maybe. Ciao!